Hello. Well, we're gonna get started here. My name is Dweehouse, and we are gonna work on Inktober prompt number 1, Crystal. We're trying to figure out how to emulate the look of oils and paint in Photoshop. There's over 2,000 brushes that come for free with Photoshop that Kyle Webster has made for us, so you can download. But the hard work is trying to figure out how they actually work, how they actually function. And so I try to spend at least 30 minutes an evening painting, and we try a different brush every night together, and we see how they work and how they function. So this might be the most boring podcast or live stream you've ever watched, but if you want to learn how the brushes work and you don't want just to quickly gloss over them categorically or watch a speed painting, then you can come in and we'll use a different brush each night and see if we can get the effects to look like oils and make them work how we want. So thanks for joining me. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're working on. So far, we've gotten a few 30-minute sessions done, and our crystal is up to this point so far. Hopefully all our finger commands are going to work for us. I'll try to call them out to you as I go so you can follow along. So this is what we've got here. Command plus lets me zoom in. Spacebar lets me grab and reposition. I'm going to switch to the traditional hand tool, and now when I use a spacebar, it switches from the brush tool to the hand tool. So let's go to B for brush. I'm going to grab, we've been using so far Cake Brush and Bristly Bob, and we've used a couple others on a couple of other nights. What we want to do is get this crystal painted in. So what's really great about this particular exercise is that there is not really a right or wrong to what we're doing. So we can kind of just pick whatever we want to do and do it. It's not like anatomy that's wrong, or it's not like you drew some shape wrong. We can really just do whatever we want. So I'm just going to use the lasso tool, pick off. I'm going to use Shift L to change the polygonal lasso, and then I'm just going to pick off a facet here that we want to fill in. And what we'll do is we'll start by blocking in the basic colors. So B for brush, and we've got all these colors already in our painting, so we can just eyedropper any of these. I'm working all on one layer for the most part. These other layers I got over here, you can see, are for like the original pencil sketch and our gray papery texture in the background, stuff like that. But the crystals here are all on one layer, so that means we can eyedropper off of those. And we are using the blender or the mixer brushes rather, next down here, rather than the normal paint brushes. So that means we're going to be using this color swatch up here instead of these over here on the left. And that's going to allow me to load my paint with a whole bunch of different colors all at the same time. So I'm going to hit Command H to hide those dancing ants. We'll pick up just some vibrant red, something like that. And look, see, that picks up all of that right there. Now I have my bottom button set to eyedropper and my top button set for undo. So it allows me to just quickly go in and grab those colors over and over again. As I'm painting, I can just pick up, put it down, pick them up, put them down. So as I paint, I want to just kind of like scrub in the color so that it has kind of a brushed in quality. If you just do it all the same, it's going to look all the same, which is not what paint really looks like. I'm going to pick up some of this purple and come in and give myself a little bit of texture here. Really, you know, do whatever floats your boat. It would kind of be awesome if you could paint along, actually, because then you could do it all together. I don't know. I kind of want just lots of refracted light, lots of stuff going on, and this is going to be controlled by pen pressure, how much of this quality that I get. Now this brush that we picked Cake tonight. I would want to do something different though. Let's try Cracker Jack. Cake has a lot of, oh, what do you want to say? Cake has a lot of canvas texture in it. I didn't really want all that canvas texture. So here's a new one. We haven't used this one before. Cracker Jack. Now this brush doesn't seem to pick up the multiple shades of color. It just kind of picks up one. So that's interesting. So this is going to be a brush that's going to end up being a little more predictable. So that's good to know. So it looks like it's all textury and unpredictable, but actually it's pretty easy to work with. So let's see here. Oh, my device keeps falling asleep. I'm trying to watch our time. So if you're just joining me, be sure to say where you're coming from in the chat. There's not a way for the chat to carry through to the future, so you just have to enjoy the moment or be here on time. Hello. How's it going? Thanks for popping in and saying hello. I think I want this crystal to wrap around a little. So let's deselect, Command D, hit L for lasso, and we'll just pop in some points here. And Command H to hide, and then B for brush. Pick up something like this, layer that in, and go with something a little darker down here, and a little purplier up here, and maybe even a little blacker up there. It doesn't have a whole lot of swirly stuff going on, so let's see if we can add some of that in. I found that the real refracted light, it's kind of like bending and warping, it's going to go in the direction of the angle of the crystal, but there's also a lot of just kind of darkness that happens on the inside. It's absorbing it, it's bending it, it's twisting it around. So I'm going to put some right there. You can see this all right, I hope. And we're just trying to do it quick. We're only going to spend maybe 30 minutes tonight. See if we can get a crystal or two completed before we move on to the next thing. I think I'm good. I might want to put just a super high shine right across the top here. I really like layering the shine on top of the darks, because it really, I think it gives it depth. Something like that. Notice we're using a big brush here too. I mean, you don't have to always go down to these little tiny brushes all the time. Every time you want to add a detail. Okay, deselect, lasso. Let's grab the next point. And when I do this, I tend to try to overlap the last one just a little bit. That way I don't end up with, man, my device keeps falling asleep here. There we go. That way you don't end up with spaces that are not painted in. So Command H, and B for brush, and then I think I'm going to do maybe really dark this time. Really like get in some of that purple even, and some black down here at the bottom. It's just to really offset that. I like that. Let's go with a real cherry red at the top. That's going to be my highlight. I like that. Wait, this was not a brush I thought I was going to like, but I have to say, it's working out pretty good for me. Let's come in small and hit a highlight. See how those highlights really work well on top of darks, because the highlight is just like the little sheen on top of everything else, but the underlying color is still there. That might be a little too much. I might just go with that, and then, man, let's call it a day. Let's zoom in. So I got a little bit of paint showing through right here. I didn't notice that when I was zoomed out, but you know, it really doesn't matter because that's all right. If it was really on a canvas and really scrubbed in with a big brush, it would look that way. So Command H to hide. We can zoom out. Command minus, B for brush, and then let's put in a really bright red, which doesn't really make any sense. But like I said, there's no right or wrong. There's no rhyme or reason. You can't do. That's what's so nice about being able to practice with something like geometric like this, because who's to say it's not right? In fact, I'm pretty sure. Hello, how are you? I am having an awesome day. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're just doing an Inktober prompt. We're spending about 30 minutes on it tonight. And I've been spending about 30 minutes each weekday night. Except Wednesdays and Thursdays, I spend 3 hours on a different project. But we're just exploring the paintbrushes. And we're trying a different one every night. So we can see. So we got one painting, but we're doing a different brush every day. So we can see how they work, right? And which ones we like and which ones we don't like. So let's go back. I'm going to bring this red back in. I have the older episodes archived on YouTube also, from where we used the different paintbrushes. So you can check those out if that's of interest to you. So tonight we're using the Cracker Jack brush out of the Real Oils collection that you can download for free, and it's part of your subscription to Photoshop. Where are you guys from? Zoom back in again. I don't like getting too far out. Brush. Now I think what we can do is we can add a little highlight on here. We can do that really small. It's already selected. So let's just run a little bit of this white from over here, right here along the edge. I'm going to make my brush real small and just hit that. Just follow me. Oh, thanks. Thanks. I appreciate that. Hopefully you'll get to see when I finish this. It'll send you an update. My bottom of my screen wasn't showing me the bottom of the chat, so I missed that for a second. I'm not really feeling this. What's neat is that you can kind of do whatever you want. It's nice to zoom out. It's nice to zoom in. I think I want this to be a little bit darker. So let's just add some more darkness. What do you think? You feeling the darkness better? Maybe some purple. Just keep eyedropping out of the same painting, because then you're going to have color harmony with what's already been done. I think I'm going to add some white up here to this top piece. I'm just going to eyedropper it. It doesn't even need to be perfectly in line with the old one. See, because it just makes it look like they're different facets on the same thing. And then I'm going to come in a little more black. And I've deselected now, so I have no selection to protect me, but I'm just going to put in a little bit right here. A little bit of this really dark red. It's good if you can use the same colors over and over again. There. Let's get one more crystal in before we run out of time here. I think I just want to fill this in. So this crystal I should have done all at once when I did it in the first place, but I didn't. So let's just fill in all this area and see what we can come up with. All right. So we're just going to hide this. Let me see. I can't see the bottom of my chat if you guys are talking to me. Let's see. All right. I need to make my window smaller or something so I can see. Or I need it to be bigger or something. Anyhow, we're just going to use B for brush. And the brush that we're using tonight is the Cracker Jack brush. I try to experiment with a different brush each night when I work on these quick 30-minute paintings. I need to bring down more of this color, so we're just going to eyedropper some of this as a base, maybe something a little bit brighter as a base. I really want, though, to utilize the mixer brushes, and the mixer brushes have a nice natural mixing quality. Let me show you what that looks like. Let's grab this cake brush. So when I pick this up now, instead of, you notice this up here, this is the color swatch for the mixer brushes. So instead of these swatches down here, this is now going to mix right on my canvas. See that? Looks such a nice quality to it. Let's grab some of this darker paint, pull that in. Now the temptation would be to just scrub along here like I'm filling it in with a crayon, but we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we get it blended nice and soft. I think I'm going to bring in some of this purple to be the transition. I'm going to hide the ants because that's annoying. It also, that's Command H. One of the releases of Photoshop didn't have Command H as a finger command, and I had to go in and manually program it, and I thought that was annoying. But you can manually program it, so at least you have that as an option. You would go up and do that in your preference settings. Now I think I'm going to get rid of my selection, Command D, and now I'm going to just blend this purple color down into my red, because I want to tie these two sections of crystal together. Because they're like growing out of each other. And then I can take this red and blend it in to this up here. You guys working on Inktober? Doing any Inktober drawings? This is from the Inktober Day 1 prompt of Crystal. So I have my bottom button set to eyedropper and my top button set to undo. So that allows me to stay really focused on the painting and not have to get out of the zone by toggling back and forth. All right. I'm really curious if you guys are doing Inktober or anything, because it's always a lot of work to do Inktober. It's kind of a big commitment. I mean, it's supposed to be like this easy, fun thing, but it's actually kind of a lot of work to stay on top of it all. Get a little sleep deprived. It's definitely been an exhausting time. Okay, so let's see how much time we have left. We have maybe 10 minutes left. We're just going to do 30 minutes tonight. Quick, fast. Let's do another crystal. I kind of want to finish off this section and work my way around into the more lit sections, and I'll be able to balance how much shadow it is. Oh, great. Well, Photoshop is a blast. Photoshop is a lot of fun. Do you have a tablet? A drawing tablet? If you want to do painting, well, that's what I'm doing. We're doing oil painting in Photoshop. And if you want to do painting in Photoshop, you really need to have a tablet to make that work. Oh, you do? Great. Well, that's what I'm using. It's a Wacom tablet. Awesome. Yeah. In order to have that pressure sensitivity and get the sense for what's happening, you really do need to have some kind of a tablet. It just won't really work very good otherwise. What's nice about this brush is that it will follow my orientation. And I'm not blocking these in with the lasso tool because I'm not as worried about these background ones being super sharp. For one thing, they're back further, so they're kind of like a little bit out of focus, I think. At least that's what I'm gonna claim. Let's try this color. Yeah, Photoshop's a lot of fun. I've been using Photoshop for probably gosh, I don't even know. Over 20 years. What isn't interactive? Oh, you've got one without a screen, you mean? You've got a Wacom tablet with no screen? Oh, I see. You got to try harder. Yeah. I mean, it just takes some time. So I didn't have this blocked off with a lasso, and I really do want this one to be blocked off with lasso. So these ones down here, I don't mind being a little fuzzy, but this one, because it's right on the edge of that other crystal, I think, want that to be blocked off. So I'm just going to block that off really quick. Command H to hide, and then B for brush, And now I can just come in here with a lot more confidence and speed, right? Might as well use the tools while I've got them. I'm gonna come in with some white back here, and then get dark. Yeah, I mean, don't be stressed out about it. Just do what you can as you can. It'll come over time, really will. I'm gonna deselect and blend this in a little. I kind of feel like these crystals here are, or these parts of it are like unformed, and they're just all warping around right here, just like big blobs of crystalliness. And then I might take the lasso again and protect the edge of my crystal. Put in a sharp edge here, like that. Command H, and let's go back to B for brush. I'm okay with that. Deselect. Good. Let's do the next little piece here. We're moving right along now. I wouldn't stress out about it. You know, just do what you can when you can. It's not a race. You know, learn what you can when you can. That's all. I mean, like I said, I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and well, over 20 years. And I used to teach Photoshop as a professor. But I mean, you're always learning. There's always more to learn. So that's cool. It's good to be a lifelong learner. If you're just joining us, welcome. I'm Dewey House. We're just going to spend about 30 minutes here tonight painting this. Come in with some more highlights up here. Actually, I want to go this way with it. So I might let's grab this brush we were using earlier, Cracker Jack, and let's lay in a little stripe of bright hot. Yeah. Definitely. And then let's lay in some white right on the edge. Let's try bristle cut with some white. And let's go up and get wet oil. Let's rotate. See, it's getting crooked. Go back to this one. That one's wet, bristly wet oil. I like the bristly stuff. Let's turn up this and see what happens. Actually, I'm going to make a new layer for this just to see. There, see? I would have totally obliterating it. Let's try that with white, see what happens. There, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I don't really feel like it's doing what I want. But that's what we did on a separate layer. Let's throw that away. Boink. Oh, my computer's being weird. I better save it before it crashes or something strange. Yeah, something's weird. It must mean the time is up. It is. It does mean the time is up. So it is it's 5:45 here Central Time. So that means my time is up. I will get this saved and I'll see you again on Monday. So again, my name is Dweehouse, and you can find my work and a bunch of links to stuff in the link tree there in the description. So if I can find my mouse, where is it? There it is. All right, so have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching.